Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go over the latest STO news as of January 12th, 2022. This is going to be a live recording, so I apologize for any audio issues that this has. And this is my second or third take on this because the first recording I did had an issue where NVIDIA Broadcast decided to amplify all of the background noise and filter out my voice. So I'll try to get through this as fast as possible. All discussion points will be timestamped below. Feel free to skip ahead to any sections you care about. Also, I've got the notes up on the screen if you want to pause and take a look at them, but I'm going to pull them off the screen now and dive into the first thing. The Builds Discord is running a giveaway for a 32nd Century Crossfield Science Spearhead refit. This is the ship that has universal designs on it, a very popular trait for meta builds right now. This ship was generously donated by fellow YouTuber 1800 Broken Soul, who is also hosting another giveaway of his own over on his YouTube channel. That video will be linked up at the top here. Now, to enter this giveaway on the Builds Discord, which I'll have linked down in the description below if you're not already on it, go to the giveaways channel and react at the bottom of this post for the 32nd Century Crossfield refit. That's all you have to do. This giveaway runs through January 25th. And it is PC only. I'm sorry, console players, but I just don't have a way to get you these items over on console. I don't play there. I don't have the resources to go buy ships over there. I'm sorry. So next up, I'll pop the notes back up for a second. Two video ideas that I've had that I just want to run past you guys and see if it's something that would interest people or not. So leave a comment below if either of these interest you and if you have any questions about them or questions to submit. For the first video idea here, which is a Q&A style video. Basically a monthly video where I take questions from the community and I answer them. Now these would be questions that are a bit shorter, not things that are too complicated like, hey, can you give me a build with this and this on, this ship? I'm not going to be doing that in this Q&A video. It's just going to be more simple questions that I can answer multiple of in like a 20-minute video. The second idea I've got is just doing basically ISE DPS run VOD review. So I'll start it off by reviewing some runs that I've done, critiquing what I did right, what I did wrong. And, when it comes to getting better at whether it's DPS or some hobby or thing you're trying to work at, recording your runs, and even if you won't look back at them yourself and figure out what you did right, what you did wrong, is a way to get better. So if you are interested in this, if you think it's a good idea, bad idea, let me know down in the comment section. I'm curious what people's thoughts are on that. Now, I'm going to recap something that other YouTubers have already covered, and that is the acquisition of Perfect World and Cryptic by Embracer or Gearbox Studios. I don't think this is going to do anything to the game, to be just honest with you. I think it's just Embracer going out and acquiring as many companies as they could to just expand their portfolio. But what was nice about this is it's in the PowerPoint that they put out for their press release, we got to see the figures for how much STO has made revenue-wise in the past 12 years. And in 12 years, it has made over $240 million in revenue, and we've had over 6 million players, at least touch the game in the past 12 years. There's obviously not 6 million active players. I mean, I doubt we're past 10 to 20,000 right now, but it's, it's just interesting to see these figures. And to me, this goes along with some comments that I've seen from some people over at Cryptic and Perfect World, where they have said that in the past few years, the game, the financials for STO have been very good, especially with Discovery and Picard coming out. So I really expect, especially with this acquisition, that we're going to see Star Trek Online be around for many more years, which is going to move us over into the next topic here. And this is an interview that Virtual TrekCon did with Virtual TrekCon did with Geko. Geko, for those of you that don't know, is one of the main people over on the STO team deciding, a lot of the things that are going to happen with the game, especially from a story perspective. So some highlights that I have here, and this is over on the STO subreddit. I'll have it linked below, but Gorgonops and the Suzuki car both put out some good summaries, and I'm just going to grab a few points of interest from these. Number one, the team working on STO is down to 25 to 30 people, and each new ship is taking about a month to make. So, we're seeing quite a lot of ships, so I assume that this is, they're working on multiple at the same time. But it's just interesting to see where the team size is out at now and how long, development of a thing actually takes. After the anniversary event, which I expect to start January 25th, the next big content drop will be in May. And if you've been playing STO for a while, this is not going to be a surprise to you. May is a very common release point for STO content. Cryptic is planning story content that is still 1 to 2 years out. And with the story, the Mirror Universe arc will continue through either the 2023 anniversary event or the following May 2023 content drop. So, hopefully they start releasing the missions for this in a quicker fashion, because it's been 3-4 months since Firewall came out. But it's nice to know that we've still got story content coming out for quite a while. Geko plans to retire on this game, says the game is easily going to continue going for at least 5 more years of active development. And based on the recent financials, he believes that at least 10 years of active development is likely, with that recent growth from Picard and Discovery and the financial success the game has had in the past few years. And lastly, for this interview, there was a note on STO2. There's a lot of people in the player base that ask for an STO2, but as Geko points out here, it would basically be financial suicide for Cryptic to do an STO2, especially while STO1 is still, an active game. So for those of you that are hoping for an STO2, I mean, it's already known it wasn't going to happen, but, this is just further confirmation of it would just be an incredibly stupid thing for Cryptic to do. I understand people want a game with better graphics, but you're not going to get it, especially when Cryptic is making so much money off of STO as is. They could put this game into maintenance mode and still make a ton of money off of it. Moving on, we've got some STO news. We've got a dilithium event running through Tuesday, January 25th. This is just a standard dilithium event, but 2 weeks long is certainly going to help the dilithium economy. And we also have a Red Alert event running. This will get you an ultimate tech upgrade, a spec point, and a T6X upgrade token. So the Borg and Tholian Red Alerts are very easy to run. Do not buy this out. Just run the Tholian or Borg Red Alerts daily. They're pretty easy to run, so just go through, make sure you're doing them daily. You need to do 10 days over the next 2 weeks to get the prizes. Okay. So next up, we've got some sales going on. And before I dive into the specific sales, I just want to say, I believe that these sales are being done now to drain Zen in advance of the upcoming 12th anniversary bundle. And I believe that they're doing these sales now instead of having done them over the holidays, because Cryptic had a really good financial year in 2021. And having these sales just a few weeks into 2022 is helping them meet those 2022 sales figures and maybe the quarterly goals that they have. So for them, it's just a matter of timing these sales. These are some really good sales we have going right now, and I think it really is they're just timing them to help, the sales figures for each quarter and the yearly figures that they want to hit. And they hit the 2021 sales figures pretty early on, so I think that's why the holiday sales were just so subpar. But the first sale here is a 35% bundle sale. This is a 35% off all ship bundles and expansion packs. It's very, very good sale. And the other one that they don't have listed here is that all previous MUDs bundles are back and are 50% off. I want to note that with Cryptic having really successful financial figures here, it's highly unlikely that we're going to see a return of that 75% sale unless Cryptic is extremely desperate for money, and I just don't see that happening. We're just a few weeks out from having Picard Season 2 drop and Discovery returning. There's so much attention for Star Trek right now and people being drawn into STO that they don't need these sales to pad their figures. They're getting so much money from people just coming in and buying things. But I want to jump into my recommendations now. So let me pop up. I've got 2 STOs open here. Let me pop up one that is on an account that hasn't purchased anything. And let me uncover my notes there. That would help. First recommendation is the Legendary Romulan Warbird bundle. This is the bundle that has the Legendary Scimitar, which is just an amazing ship. And you get a bunch of traits off of it, so it's pretty good to have. And then the other ship in it is the Legendary Dideridex, which is not the best ship ever. I mean, it'll get the job done, but the trade off of it, whenever you hit Tractor Beam, it launches out 3 really hard-hitting Plasma Torps, and them things hit really hard. So it's a very good bundle. It also comes with the T6 ship coupon, and those T6 ship coupons right now, you can either sell them via a trade channel for like 450 million EC, or you could just use it to get another C-Store ship. So very good bundle. Highly recommend it for people that are looking for a set of really good ships, and it's just really good value. The next thing here is the new Genesis bundle. And this bundle is a recommendation specifically for people that are interested in EPG, so science builds, or torpedoes. The Grissom has a console on it called Phase Space Membrane, and I'm going to pop open my other STO window and show that console to you quick. I don't actually have it on this character, so let me swap characters. But the Phase Space Membrane is a really powerful console for torpedo builds right now. If I can get my character to load, it gives you a massive boost to torpedo damage, but it drains your aux power. But even then, it's just crazy powerful. So I'm hovering over it now, and it will drain 20 aux power per second, but if you use an aux battery, you can basically have it up for the full 20 seconds. And what it does is it gives you a lot of resistance rating, and it gives you a scaling damage boost up to 400%. So this is one of those things that has really helped torpedo builds in the past few months, and it is just insanely powerful for a torp build. If you use a large aux bat with it, or have a teammate hit a team battery, you can have full uptime on it for the 20-second duration. And the other ship in the pack is the Clark. The Clark itself is a good torpedo platform. It currently has the top record on the DPS tables, but the United Earth Defense Force vessel is a better ship, and the thing that pushed this ship up high is it's just a really good, solid platform, but it moves really well. The Clark has a good console on it for EPG builds. The trade-off of it can be good for support builds, and the ship as a platform is just really capable for tanking or torpedo DPS builds. Moving on, my next recommendation is the Delta Expansion Pack. So the ships from this are not that spectacular. And on this pack, I need to just clarify. My recommendation for this Delta Operations Pack is for people that are min-max players. The reason you're really getting this is the bridge officers and duty officers it unlocks. So I'm going to swap back over to the other STO window. Now, if you are a Romulan player, the bridge officers you get from this are amazing. 2 of the 3 are really good, and keep in mind each faction gets different bridge officers from these, and it's really just the Romulan ones that are really good. The ones for Feds or Klingons are okay, but they're nothing like extraordinary like these ones are. And only 2 of the 3 Romulan ones are good. There's a TAC one that gives you Superior Infiltrator and Superior Romulan Operative on the same bridge officer, which is really quite handy, especially if you do anything with ships that have a cloak. And the other one that is really good is the Engineering one, which has Superior Romulan Operative and Superior Subterfuge. So those are both really good bridge officers, and if you're a min-max player looking to get every last bit out of your ship, then those are both really good bridge officers to have on there for your Romulan characters. Now, there are some duty officers I mentioned, and I'm going to go over those now. The first is Agent Aal. There's a Fed version called Agent Nerul. This is the only way to get this specific duty officer. Is through the Stealth Operations pack, and whenever you shoot while attack pattern beta is up with an energy weapon, you will heal yourself for 0.2% of your max hull. So for tank builds, this is a very popular duty officer. It does a good bit of healing. It's up to you if you're a min-max player to see if this, is this really worth $100 to you. I mean, you do get a bunch of ships with the Delta pack, but none of them are really meta anymore. They're all fairly outdated. They were the first T6 ships to come into the game, so this is a very old pack, and really it's just down, are you into the duty officers or the bridge officers it has. The other standout bridge officer or duty officer is the damage control engineer. That is an Oxidasif placate off. There are versions of this that you can buy outside of this pack, but they usually run in the 1 to 200 million range. The next pack that I'm going to recommend is the Gamma Vanguard pack. This has a lot of ships in it, but do keep in mind that all of the Vanguard ships must be leveled up on a Jemadar character before you can use them on your Fed, ROM, or KDF characters. This just has a bunch of really solid ships in it, and it does unlock some bridge officers that are very good for min-max players if you're a non-Romulan player. So the Vanguard bridge officers help bridge the gap between a Romulan and non-Romulan with the crit chance and severity that they get from their bridge officers. You would want to use the Vanguard engineer and the Vanguard science on your Fed or any non-Romulan character, because the Vanguards have a trait on them that is equivalent to half of an SRO trait. So they give 1% crit chance and 2.5 severity. They do give a damage boost also, but it's a very minor damage boost. So if you're a min-max player, consider the Vanguard pack for the bridge officers. If you're a casual player, consider it for all the ships it has. And that is it for the packs and expansion packs. Now let's take a look at the MUDs market. So let me start at the top here. In Command is worth it for those that, want those specific torp boats. The Section 31 is very popular. The Rampart is a very good ship, very good tank also, but it can also do torps really well. The Section 31 is a good science ship. But overall, I didn't get this pack on my main account because I just already have the ships on a bunch of my characters that I would want those ships on, so I just didn't have a need for it. The Into Darkness is the second most valuable pack, one of the most valuable packs, I should say. The Into Darkness is a pack that I'll probably get at some point. It's just I don't have the money to grab it right now. But I would be getting it to get the Calvin Timeline starships, which is the Tularu, the Calvin Connie, and the D4X. The Calvin Heavy Destroyers, which is the Calvin D7 and the Calvin Heavy Destroyer. And then the Vulcan Experimental Scout ship. I would basically be getting all of the ships except the Vengeance, and the reason for that is the Vengeance is really cheap on the exchange compared to any of these other ships. This Vulcan Scout ship would cost you 5 Vengeances, and each of these lockbox ships here, which is so the other 5 ships there, would cost you about 4 Vengeances to acquire each ship individually. So if you get all of the ships except the Vengeance, you're getting a lot of very high value ships that are good for various things. So that's my recommendation with that bundle. I would say to ignore the big 8 packs unless you're a whale and you really want them. The secret intel bundle I covered recently. I didn't get this myself because I already had the traits or the ships on the characters that needed them. And that's a common theme for me with a lot of these packs, but my recommendation still stands for those of you that are interested in torp builds. Grab the Section 31 Intel Science Destroyer for the Exodus trait. That's pretty much needed for PvP too nowadays. The Nequej Intel Battlecruiser for Ceaseless Momentum, and then the Sona Intel Battlecruiser for Subspatial Warheads. Those are the 3 that I'd recommend, so ignore the Cheshire because the Cheshire is trash. Mud's Choice Pack of Dread. The Herc Vedcrid is a promo ship, but it's not a good one, really. I mean, some people like it. It's just not that good of a ship. The Paradox Temporal Dreadnought is a Lobi ship. It's okay, nothing special. And then the Tholian Tarantula is the most appealing out of this specific choice pack. It's a good ship, but for me, it's the same situation of I already have it on the characters that I would need it on, and I'm not going to spend $150 to get it. The Mud's Faith of the Heart choice pack is a waste of your money and can be ignored. The Mud's Out of This Wormhole choice pack. Here's my issue with this one. The McKee Raider has a nice console, but it's a Lobi ship, so it's fairly easy to obtain via the exchange for the few characters you would need that console on. The ship itself is cool, but it's nothing really that special. The Quark Marauder, nothing special. And, the Jem'Hadar Strike Ship is nice. It's nice it has the rapid fire trait on it to extend rapid fire to have 100% uptime. But the issue is rapid fire sucks right now. Like, I used to use rapid fire, and compared to Beam Overload, it sucks. But the other issue I see with the bug ship is we have no legendary Jem'Hadar ships yet, and what ship is more iconic than the bug ship for the Jem'Hadar? I fully expect that when we get a legendary Jem'Hadar ship, we're going to see a legendary bug ship, which to me means, you're going to get the straight from the legendary version of the ship when it eventually comes out. So why waste your money on getting it in a Muds bundle that's going to cost how much more? So that's why I skipped out on that bundle. And the Mud Stealing Time choice pack is one that it's the only one I have actually purchased on my main account, and I purchased it just last night. I purchased it because the Temporal Science Vessel is a really good ship for doing EPG science builds. It's the best for HSC, for Hive Space Elite. So it's a really good science ship. The Amari isn't the best ship, but I just wanted to have it unlocked in case they ever make it so that the console can be used on other ships, because that console looks to be pretty good for Torp builds. And it's just a neat ship to have. I don't think the stats on it are too spectacular, but I just thought it looked neat. And then I grabbed the Temporal Destroyers as the third choice. For me, the ship stat-wise sucks compared to other ships nowadays, but it looks really nice, and it's a ship that is very nostalgic to me because it's one that I used to fly a ton back in the day. It was one of the first lockbox ships that I acquired back in like 2012, somewhere around 2012. So it's just a nostalgic ship for me. And there's a secondary benefit for the Temporal Science Vessel and Temporal Destroyer that there is a Fed, Klingon, and Romulan version of each ship. And if I go through and claim them all, that's 3 Admiralty cards I'm getting for the Science Vessel, and then 3 Admiralty cards I'm getting for the Destroyers. So for me, as somebody that does occasionally do Admiralty, having those extra Admiralty cards was quite beneficial. But, I'm looking at this, and I was trying to keep this short, and it is still a bit shorter than the past take I did. But I'm at 23 minutes now, and I'm going to just try and end this here. I appreciate everyone that is stuck around and listened to this entire thing. Hopefully the audio didn't end up too bad, because I'm just going to let this take go up. My throat's starting to kill me at this point. I did end up using most of my Zen to get that Stealing Time bundle. I do have some Zen on the deal exchange that I'll end up getting about 2 weeks from now when my order gets through the queue. I do want to get the 12th anniversary pack, and if you want to help me fund that pack, consider a membership on the YouTube channel here. It's not required, but it is helpful. That's going to help me get that 12th anniversary pack if you do that, and will help me, fund future bundles that come out, so I can start doing like better reviews on ships and just saying if it's worth your money or not. But that's it for today. I do have a video coming out on, I think Monday is when I'm going to release it. I just got to re-record the audio, and it's about how to power level using research assignments. So stay tuned for that if that interests you. But that's it for today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.